My name is Les Bateman. My father was in the war, in the Royal Marines. I was born and lived in Hitchin until I was 18 years old, when I got called up for national service. After national service, I got married, and we moved from Hitchin, Ickleford, Letchworth. My father was called up into the forces in either 1942 or 1943. He didn't get called up in 1939 because in 1943 he would have been 38 years old, so he didn't get called up in the first batch. So he was called up and at that time I was 9 or 10 years old. He went for the medical and came back and he said, "I've been accepted." And my mum said, "Into what?" He said, "Into the Royal Marines." He said, "You can't even swim." He went into the Royal Marines in 42 or 43, was trained, and then he went over on D-Day during the 6th over to Normandy beaches, and he was in charge of one of the landing crafts. And to begin with, he would have been taking the troops onto the beach, coming back empty, more troops off to the beach again. He was shelled. He said there was one shell landing very close to the landing craft, but he got away with it. And towards the late afternoon, he was still taking troops to the beach, but bringing the wounded back to the ship. And this went on all day. Really, that was what he did. That was his really highlight of the war, was doing the landing crafts. I remember as a small boy, when he came home, when he got any weekends off and came home, he'd come in the front door with his rifle on his shoulder, tin hat on his back and everything. And he used to prop the Enfield 303, I think it was, rifle in the hall, and he would stand there all weekend until he went back. It was quite, looking back on it, it was quite bizarre. He survived the war, and when he came back, he went back to being a carpenter joiner who worked for Wilmot's and Foster, both in Hitchin, and he spent his working life working for either one or the other of those two companies. He died in 1983 from a heart attack. But during the war, I remember going with my mother for a walk down Orton Head, just the woods itself, because we lived adjacent to King George V's playing field. So it was a little walk down there. She said, "I don't feel very well." And so we sent for the doctor, and she had a miscarriage. She always said it would have been a girl. I said, "How do you know?" "I've got two boys, I wanted a girl." My father, after D-Day and all that finished, he was going to be sent to Burma. But because my mother had a miscarriage, he was sent home on compassionate leave. And so he never did get to Burma, thank goodness. And one day my brother and I sat down for tea. My mother put this strange yellow shriveled up thing on the table, and I said, "What's that?" That's called a banana. It's the first time I'd ever seen a banana in my life, almost when the war ended, 44, 45 time.